Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today I am continuing my Fill the World build project where I create houses on each of the empty lots in all of EA's worlds. And this time we are back in Brindleton Bay, and this house is built on the lot called Hindquarter Hideaway. This house I've decided to call Pondway Cottage, because it's right next to that little pond that I always forget is in Brindleton Bay. Like, the original lot description of this lot has a mention about that pond, and I was like, oh right, there is in fact a pond here. Totally forgot about that. But yeah, so this is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. Again, very similar to the house next door to it that I built a few weeks ago. It's very secluded, but I thought that instead of kind of like leaning into that seclusion vibe that it has going on, I thought I would make this house maybe, I don't know, a little bit more pet friendly, and you could probably have people living here and they're not going to be like total hermits, even though this is the house that's actually a little bit further away. I didn't want to make it quite as secluded from the road, and there's actually any more secluded than it already is, because as you saw in that beginning video, you don't really see this house until you're like right up on it, because they've put in a ton of trees in the world around it, which is awesome. Like, it gives a really cool vibe for it, but yeah, so I didn't really feel like I needed to add in a lot of trees on my own to like make this house feel even more secluded, because it really is. So I wanted to do, instead of like a typical like family home where it's like a master bedroom and a kid bedroom and a toddler bedroom, I wanted to do a house that had kind of like 2 master bedrooms or 2 bedrooms with double beds, without any kid bedrooms in it at all. Because, you know, sometimes you don't play with families, sometimes you play with roommates or a group of friends or whatever. Maybe you just, for whatever reason, you don't want to have any kids in this house, and that's cool. So I decided to do something a little different and do a house that has kind of a setup for like roommates, specifically dog-loving roommates. So obviously this is in the world that came with cats and dogs, so, you know, like a lot of the stuff in here is going to be kind of more focused on cats and dogs, specifically dogs, because I prefer dogs. I mean, like, no shade to the cat lovers out there. I like cats too. They're not bad. I'm just more of a dog person. So I went with dogs instead. Sorry, not sorry. So also the other thing is that dogs require fewer things. Like, they don't require like a cat tree and like all the different little like toy things. I mean, like, they still require toys, but like, you can have a dog and it'll have like a bed and a food bowl, and that's kind of all that it really needs to be happy. So it's a little bit simpler to do dogs than cats, I think. So in the like main living room area of the house, there's a dog bed, like the large size dog bed, and then also a dog food bowl, and then one of the bedrooms has a small dog bed and an additional food bowl, because the way that the bedrooms were set up, the bedroom in the front of the house, which is I think the last bedroom that I did, it's a little bit more crowded in there, so there isn't really enough room for a dog bed. So I figured, you know, the dog that belongs to the person who lives in that room, they can sleep out in the main part of the house, and then the dog that belongs to the person in the other bedroom, they can actually sleep in their human's room. So yeah, so I went with kind of like a gray scheme in the kitchen, living room, dining room area here. I didn't want it to be totally gray though, so it's interesting. I don't know that I've really ever done this particular color scheme before, but it's gray with like green and black accents. So it's definitely unique. It's not something I've really done much before, but I like how it turned out. And actually, I didn't have, for some reason, the shades of green that I was going with, maybe it was because I was focusing on specific packs, I didn't have nearly the hard time finding greens that went together as I've had before. So I don't know, maybe, you know, I have no idea. I just miss the color wheel, you know. Like, that would just be so great if they could find a way to make that work again in The Sims 4, because that would solve like So many issues. Like, I was watching a video from Lil Simsy the other day where she went into like all of the issues that she has with build mode in The Sims 4, and basically it boils down to that there aren't enough swatches that match each other, even within the same packs, like, or within the base game itself, which is kind of nuts, and has driven me crazy for years at this point, because The Sims 4 has been out for 4 years. So, I mean, the chances are at this point that they're going to actually do something like bring in the color wheel pretty slim, but you never know. But I'm personally still really holding out hope that they do that at some point, because that would just make things so much easier. Like, or they need to patch in more color swatches that match things, because like she says in her video, like, why would you not do that? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So anyways, so back to this house. So I did like a separate kitchen, kind of, but it's still kind of open, and then the living room and dining room is kind of more open. I don't know why. I've been into this thing where I keep doing like dining room tables right inside the front door. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I guess in actual gameplay it works pretty well, because like if you're sitting there eating breakfast and you're about to go off to work or school or whatever, then you don't have far to go to get to the door to leave, so it's pretty convenient for your Sims, I guess, so that's good. So this is the bedroom that has the dog bed in it. It also has the computer in it, because if you've never seen one of my builds, I always try to put a computer in a house, but I put them inside of a room with a locked door, because personally in my own gameplay, I really don't like it when I have Sims come over to my house and all they want to do is play on my computer. And so by putting it into a bedroom with a locked door, I can lock that door and prevent those Sims from coming over and just playing on my computer and not talking to me, which is super rude. Very rude, Sims. Shame on you. So this is the first bedroom, or the front bedroom of the house. I actually, when I was doing the floor plan, I really meant for this bedroom to be more of the master, but then the way things worked out, it's actually a little bit smaller. So, you know, whatever. If you want to make the primary Sim live in this bedroom or in the other bedroom, it's up to you. So yeah, pretty basic bedroom things in here, really. I mean, like, you know, nothing too exciting. I did decide to go back to using some of the like base game objects, which I haven't done very much with. I mean, I decorated a lot with other things, but the bedroom set with the bed and the end tables and the dresser went back to base game. Yeah, also, these windows that I use, they're from the Get Together expansion pack. I had a really hard time finding curtains that fit these windows. like the double wide pull down shades, I guess that would be what you would call them. Not the ones like that have the wrinkle in them, but like the smooth, more modern looking pull down shades. They don't slot properly over double windows. I don't know, like, it's just, they're weird. It's very frustrating, and I couldn't get it to work. I tried using them in the kitchen, which granted in the kitchen, it's actually 2 single windows side by side, but I still couldn't get it to work, and I don't know. It was very annoying. So yeah, because this is such a small build, I actually left in the bathroom furnishing in here, which is very unusual for me. I went with kind of like this icky teal color. So in my mind, this house is like, maybe it's like a young person living here with like a friend or something. And, you know, when you're young and you're just starting off, do you have the money to renovate a bathroom? Nope. Bathrooms and kitchens historically are always the most expensive part of a house to renovate. So I decided to go with something that might be a little bit dated and kind of awful, because that would be more difficult to update. And I actually put laundry in this house, which is another thing I almost never do. Just because there's that one washer dryer set that actually matches that horrible tealy green color that I went with for the walls in the bathroom, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, we're doing this. We are gonna do this. So yeah, I never do it. So there's only one laundry hamper, because of course it was kind of an afterthought. So by the time I had done the bedrooms, that's when I decided, oh hey, I should put in laundry. So there's only the one hamper in the bathroom, but you know, if you're only living here with 2 Sims, that's probably all you're gonna need anyway. So yeah, and then I realized that where I had to delete a window in the kitchen originally, looked a little empty, so I just stuck on a fireplace or a chimney there. I mean, like, there's no actual fireplace inside of the house, but, you know, you don't actually need to have a fireplace inside of the house to have a chimney, both in the game and in real life. Because sometimes it's just, like, exhaust from the heating system of the house. Or, I don't know, like, the house I grew up in as, like, a small child, we didn't have an actual fireplace, but we had a chimney, which did make things very interesting when my parents had to explain to me how Santa worked, because the fireplace, or the chimney rather, didn't have, like, it was hooked up to our heating system, but it also had our TV antenna in it. And I was like, wait a second, how does Santa get around that? And I'm not really sure how my parents exactly explained that, but they found a way. So now I'm just doing some landscaping. I kind of wanted to keep things a little bit open as far as the outside of the house goes, because this lot in particular is pretty small, but there's a lot of empty green space around it. So I figured, you know, especially if you're here with like a couple of dogs and a couple people, like, you're probably going to end up like roaming outside of your actual property lines. Plus there is that really nice pond right around the corner from here, so, you know, didn't want to make it too fenced off. And really, do you need a fence when you're this secluded? Probably not. So anyways, so this is the Pondway cabin. It's currently available for download on the Sims 4 gallery. You can get to it in the link in the description box below this video, or you can search for it on the gallery using the hashtag MrsTomato1018, or through my origin ID, which is also MrsTomato1018. And yeah, I hope you guys like this house. It's pretty cute. I enjoy it a lot. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you can do so down below. I put up a new video on Tuesdays and Fridays. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!